Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to this ACC Women's Premier Cup 2026. Around 32 matches till now, 64 innings, 5,465 runs, 368 wickets, more than 6,000 balls have been bowled, roughly about 470 boundaries, 25 sixes, a lot that has spoken till now, and the volumes have been in front of you for all the women who have played their best. Today it's a big day because we are into the quarter-final games now. The game right now you'll be witnessing between Hong Kong, China versus Japan. And let's go to Dennis, where he is there with both the captains for the toss.
We are at the business end of the ACC Women's Premier Cup in Malaysia, and our first quarter-final game here at the UKM Oval is a clash between Hong Kong, China and Japan. At the toss I have the two captains, Natasha Miles from Hong Kong, China, Mai Yanagida from Japan, and our match referee for the game today. Natasha is a home captain, so she'll flip the coin. Tails is a call. Tails it is. Mai, you win the toss. Tell us what we're going to do and why.
We're going to do ball first. Ball first. I think the pitch is a little bit wet and moist, so I think it will better but later. So yeah, we're trying to restrict runs in the first inning and then chase it down.
All right. Yesterday's loss was bruising for you and the girls, but what would it mean for you to win this quarterfinal and get yourselves into the semi-final?
Yeah, I think it's a crucial game, knockout stage. So yeah, we'll give our best, and yeah, we're gonna win this game.
All right. Have you made any changes from yesterday?
No changes.
All right. Good luck to you and the girls.
Thank you very much.
Natasha, you seem pleased to be batting first.
Yeah, I think we've batted first through the tournament. We've done well, put some scores on the board. So looking forward to doing the same again today.
All right, I'm sure you've done some homework about Japan. How prepared are you and the girls for this one?
Yeah, super prepared. I mean, we had a training session in our little break there and put a few plans into practice. So looking forward to going out there and doing that today.
All right, you've come all this way unbeaten, haven't dropped any game in the tournament, but mentally there's no room for error in a quarterfinal. How mentally are you prepared?
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. I mean, we'll take the game as it comes and everybody's going to, put their best foot forward, and I absolutely back this team. So looking forward to going out there and showing our skills.
All right, good luck to you and the girls.
Thank you.
The news from the middle, Japan have won the toss and they will be bowling first.
Well, there it is. It was Japan wins the toss and decides to field first. It's going to be a great game of cricket out here, and especially now when we move on to the knockouts. The first ball, just at teasing line outside the off stump. And with me, I have in the commentary box, Yusuf. Morning, and big game for both the teams. And in fact, for all the teams who are playing this quarterfinals.
Morning, Divesh. Sun is out here after a bit of a shaky morning we had with the weather. Mariko Hill and skipper Natasha Miles out here to open. Crucial that both of them get going. And Japan, in the meantime, they showed some spirit against Thailand yesterday, but were outplayed by a very strong outfit. Both these teams are looking to book that first berth in the semi-final.
Well, a lot of players to look for. In Hong Kong, I think it goes by no surprise. Natasha Miles, Mariko Hill, a dot ball there. But talking about the players, Marina Lamplo, Sumi Wai, Changxing, we have Yasmin Daswani, also one of the second or the third leading scorer. The first is Ayaka Stafford. Yes, you heard it right. Ayaka Stafford getting 218 runs in this tournament till now. So she's the one to look forward today. Ayaka Kato Stafford. Yes, the big name. Then you also have Inase Goto, who's again a wonderful batter. Haruna Iwasaki. We have also, players Shimako Kato, But to be very honest, Yusuf, all that has happened in the group stage also gave, time for corrections, time for getting back into various scenarios. But when you're talking about a knockout stage, we'll continue this conversation after this over, because Ahilya Chandel has bowled a fantastic first over, not giving too many runs, trying to bowl much fuller. And we'll be back very soon talking about the players. Yusuf, let me continue the question that I was asking you. A lot of situations in the game at the group stage, could be rectified, corrected, take the positive learnings, come back again strong. When you talk about knockouts, it's do or die.
I think definitely the Yasumoto into the attack. Hong Kong, especially, they'll be very feeling warm after that performance against Nepal, because they had a few hiccups here and there, but they managed to put all that together and come back really strong with Ikra, Sahar, and Mariam Bibi coming in really clutch and getting that fantastic bowling performance despite a bit of a shaky wobble. But Daswani, she's held that Hong Kong batting together, and hope that she will be getting a good start from her openers today.
Yes, meanwhile, Nonoha Yasumoto is going to be bowling from left arm over the wicket. Ahilya Chandel with that fantastic first over. Oh, this is very brave, because the wicket keeper is actually standing very close to the stumps there.
Trying to lock up the Hong Kong skipper.
Hinase Goto behind the stumps for a medium pacer. She's standing upright there. And Natasha Miles and Mariko Hill. Natasha taking the strike. Another one. Two back-to-back wide ball. And this is something that we've seen early on to the innings, when the medium pacers or even sometimes the spinners, try to miss their line and length and try to get back as early as they can.
Obviously, I think Japan, it's important that they hit the ground running, because both these batters, give them a bit of time, they'll really go to the cleaners. In comes the bowler.
That's a good one. A little hesitation there, but eventually Mariko responds well. Yusuf, it's a big game today, especially here. How much do you think that toss is going to play an important role? Because Japan, after winning the toss, it was immediately here. The captain thought that, we should be bowling first.
I think it's largely circumstantial. How I'm quite surprised with Japan's decision as well. I'll come back to that after this ball. And I think in general, if it's a crunch game, you want to have runs on the board. Bat first, get a good total, and make sure you put the opposition under added scoreboard pressure. And with Hong Kong being a very good batting side, I'm quite surprised that Japan decided that they will bowl first.
I think probably it is the overcast conditions also, because they would be little worried about the dew. The ball might not come onto the bat nicely. It's rained, quite a bit since yesterday. So the outfield won't be very fast. Meanwhile, it's another wide. So I think here the run gates might open up, because once you start bowling these extras, and then even the runs start coming from the bat, because the batter is playing with no pressure. And I think it is the decision is totally, I think, influenced by the overall forecast condition.
Even 2 days ago, what you noticed with Mariko Hill was she was middling the ball really well, but she was finding it very hard to hit the gaps. And today, yet again, she's not able to really find those gaps as of now, just 2 balls into her innings.
This time tries to go and hit it towards the short fine leg. The idea was to clear the short fine leg, but didn't quite get a good connection on the bat, and should be a single. And I think initially, if runs are not going to be coming easily, and something that we've seen here at the UKM Oval, at least the first innings, major of the time, It is a due factor that comes in between. But then players have been very smart to just tackle it with singles and doubles and not try to hit it too much. But this time, Natasha with a wonderful square cut that will race away for a boundary. She doesn't need too much time to get these get going.
Threaded the needle on that occasion. Fielders placed at point and cover exactly for that kind of shot and made sure that she got it right through that gap and the ball was flying along. Outfield has caught up with the sunshine, Deepesh.
Well, yes, it's good to see the sun out there because that will help, the due factor to kind of reduce. But this time, I mean, amazing shot by Natasha. Shows her class, leads as a captain with an example with the bat. 2 overs done, 10 for none. It's just that the first over just went in for 1 run by Ahilya Chandel. And then suddenly now you have the run gates which have quite opened nicely.
Those 3 wides really playing a part in the total scheme of things. Chandel to continue. She's been really good, bowled really well in that previous game yesterday as well against Thailand.
So here we go. Ahilya Chandel once again bowling left arm over the wicket. This is much good. What she's trying to do is getting the early Yorkers, getting that early aggression on in her bowling. Because even the first over, if you've seen, she's not trying to bowl anything away from the stumps, trying to keep it on the body. Sometimes, she's very good when she's bowling the line on the middle and the leg stump. This is fabulous, Yusuf. So much control on her line.
He's always stuck to that right arm round the wicket to the right-hander angle, always, and also brings the ball a bit back. Creates that angle of confusion for the batter. Should I play it? Should I leave it alone? Because when you're going across and suddenly ripping one into the batter, the batter has a bit more thinking to do.
Absolutely right there, and Ahilya once again. I think this is the moment where both Mariko and Natasha would be looking down to sustain because these are early overs where it is not going to be an easy one for the runs to come in.
I think runs on the board will also be important. And Mariko, she needs to take the aggressive role because I think Natasha needs to bat through for Hong Kong.
Oh, that's a lovely shot. That's another class. That is going to go all the way for a boundary. This time it is Mariko Hill.
She gets in on the act. And that'll have to be the affair of the day for her. Has to pounce on anything loose. And this power play needs to be maximized. This time, Chandel also being under attack.
I think it all went in favor, right, for Mariko. Short ball on the leg stump.
You don't want to offer something so juicy up front to a new batter. Could be the difference between them getting set and being troubled.
Absolutely. And let's see what the next one brings in. This is much better, I think, Yusuf, because, whenever I've seen, and probably you can throw some light on it, whenever she's trying to bowl, that on those 3 sticks, she has been very successful. But the moment she's bowling the short of the line deliveries or probably the deliveries on the leg stump, it has not quite worked good for her.
Yes, I think basic cricketing thinking there because basically if you keep bowling wicket to wicket, at the end of the day, you're going to not give room for the batter. End of the third, 14 for none. Natasha Miles former England Lions player as well. Is in the UK for a large part of her cricketing career and has since come back to Hong Kong in the past 2 years and taken reins as the national skipper. Mariko Hill, on the other hand, vastly experienced, took an incredible catch the other day, Deepesh, for that wicket of the Nepal batter.
Well, yes, continuing back now, we can see some change happening at the bowling end after that expensive over of Nonoha Yasumoto. At this moment, it's all about how can you control or how can you keep the batters on the back foot. That is very much important. 2 good overs for Ahilya Chandel, but now it's Shimako Kato who's come out there to bowl. The first one, she's bowling again on the pads. Mariko Hill on strike. Oh, it's Natasha. This once again nicely chipped in and a very good fielding at the backward point.
Chandel nearly misjudging that ball, but manages well to hold on to it as the hands on her heart. She realizes what was consequential if she had missed it.
And I think for everybody, it will be the test of patience because in big matches like these, you got to be patient. You got to be very much in the game, thinking about every scenario that may go against you.
Gets through for a single, Natasha Miles on that occasion.
And the reason I say that, now 2 good deliveries. Now one, they've taken a run, but in the previous one, when the ball went to Ahilya, they did not. That is your patience where you can hold yourself back, avoid any kind of casualty early. Oh, this is lovely. A slower one, Yusuf.
Smart change by the Japanese skipper, bringing in Kato from this end. The Japanese manager Vinay Iyer was telling us Kato was one of those players you need to look out for, Shimako Kato, and she's proving her mettle right now. It was an end that Yasumoto struggled from, and now Kato has managed to fairly pull things back.
Absolutely. I think. Oh, this is again some class from Mariko Hill.
Speak of the commentator's curse. I was just mentioning how well she has bowled this over, Kato, and immediately bowls one in the reach of Mariko Hill. Just had to get some bat on it. There was no fielder at all behind point, and it was flying to the boundary. Hong Kong maximizing the power play.
This is absolutely class from Mariko Hill. Japan would be looking for a breakthrough here because if they don't, these 2 are enough to create the buzz in the town. Both are very good timers of the ball. 4 overs gone. It's 21 for no loss.
Mariko Hill and Natasha Miles, both these batters take a lot of pride in the role that they do for the team. One of them usually bats through and one of them is the aggressor. And that is situational, depending on the groove either of them are in. They have this very good understanding of when and where to go through. Natasha Miles lost her wicket in very uncharacteristic fashion in the last game.
And the player to look for, Ayaka Kato Stafford, comes out to bowl here. Again, experience, Yusuf. That will matter a lot here to get the first breakthrough. Straight to the mid-off and should be getting a single here.
Kato Stafford comes with a rich cricketing heritage. Already debuted for the Australia under-19s. Comes from Brisbane. Will be a huge learning experience for her. Drives and drives well. Mariko Hill through the covers. The fielder will have some work to do and does well. They'll come back for a second one.
Well, and I think Captain Mai Yanadika she was very clear that they want to bowl first, try to get wickets early in the innings, restrict Hong Kong China to the minimum. But if trust me, I mean, we all have seen how dangerous Mariko and Natasha's partnership is. Wonderful sweep shot again.
Full stretch and took the ball on the bounce. Lovely sweep shot. Really like what I'm seeing from Mariko. Batting with conviction, reaching out to the ball.
Runs are coming at ease, Yusuf.
That's what Japan will be worried about. They've not troubled the Hong Kong batters in any form or sort. And the more you let both of these go on, it's going to be trouble.
And it's so good to see Ayaka immediately running back for her run up just to save that second or 2 second time. This time again, a long chase. Who will win it? Will that be the ball or the fielder? Fielder does well. Couple of runs again added to the total.
Ayaka, Kato Stafford, all-rounder, leading run scorer in the tournament as well. They pitched 218 runs so far.
And it's no surprise, when you have such a good competition that is in front of you. One side you have Ayaka, who's bowling to the two, one of the best in the business, Mariko and Natasha. So the contest is, interesting to watch. Who is going to take the upper hand?
End of the 5th over.
Can you do something about the screen? It is going off for a long.
Yeah, after 5 overs, Hong Kong yet to lose a wicket. Still very, very solid. Dennis here with Depeche. Depeche, final over of the power play, good enough for Hong Kong, or they should have gotten out a lot more?
When you see such a solid, strong front foot defense, eyes on the ball, head position very still, the basics where which you talk about this lovely defense. So they've got a mix of both. They've got a mix of defense and the aggressive shots that are coming in with boundaries, singles, doubles, gives it a good mixture. And when you have Natasha and Mariko standing there in the center, all you can expect is a lot of runs.
Yeah, Shimaka Kato, one of the go-to players for Japan in this whole tournament, with both bat and ball. Some aggression, but to the sweeper fielder, just get the 1 run for Hong Kong. I had Yusuf mentioning it, that I think one of the decisions that greatly influenced the toss was the covering on the ground. They took off the cover and immediately went for the toss. And I felt that it was going to be a very simple decision for whoever wins that toss.
Well, yes,
Tries to run the ball down to third man. They'll just get the 1 run.
Well, I think now it is more about what Natasha and Mariko does in the next probably 5-10 overs, because they're pretty much settled. Both of them have played decent deliveries. Natasha playing 19, Mariko playing 14 deliveries, and they've got themselves in the sync of run scoring.
Again, they thought about a quick one. Mariko Hill always anxious to get on the other end. Sometimes that can be a downfall. The wicket was a bit soft, and I think that's why Japan decided to bowl first. I don't know if they view those conditions very well, just to try and make sure they get some early wickets and start making inroads in that Hong Kong batting lineup.
Just curious, Dennis, because you were at the toss. I think fielding first was, of course, a decision influenced by the forecast. But you've there with the the both the captains. What do you take back from their plans and strategies ahead of this big game?
As we come to that end of the power play, it's 30 for no loss, Hong Kong, China. Yeah, Dipesh, I think both captains are very, very influenced. That decision made by my Yagani, by my greatly influenced by the slight drizzle just before the action started, soft wicket, and also a bit of a heavy outfield. So you're thinking that they prefer to use the conditions in the second innings when they're much better. The sun has come out, the outfield is more dry, so the ball can run to the boundary. But also the wicket is a bit more, is harder. So I hope that Japan are hoping they can restrict them to a small total.
Well, yes, and they all are waiting for a breakthrough here. Just to excite that a little bit. Again, Ayaka, look at the fantastic run up and the roll of the wrist gives it a perfect flight to the ball straight in the hands of the wicket keeper Hinase Goto.
Again, Tosa is up in the air. Doesn't use her feet, Mariko Hill. If she can use her feet, the fielder at mid-off is up in the circle. She could be able to get some runs. The conventional sweep shot, they'll get the single. Again, Ayaka Stafford playing with the batters, tosses one up, keeps the other very, very flat.
Well, yes, right now it's the breakthrough that Japan is looking for.
Down the leg side, this time missed by the keeper. Wides indicated by the umpire already. The chase for the fielder, very good. Keeps it in, but at least again, the fielders getting in each other's way, and in the end, they end up giving an extra run. And it umpire has indicated wide. Those are 4 runs.
Well, yes, just using the pace from the bowler that was provided onto the leg side, and anything that has gone onto the leg side today has been gone in for too many runs. This one's gone in the air, but a bit of a coordination issue there. I think 2 players came in, nobody called, and the catch went down eventually.
Yeah, the players getting in each other's way, but not a bad approach by Mariko Hill. That's what I just mentioned, that there's no fielder down the ground, so she can be able to use her feet and get some runs on it. But no one calling for that ball, and the captain will be guilty that she didn't take responsibility.
Oh God, that is a big mess.
Now that's more like it. Very well played there by Natasha Miles. Gets on top of that ball and drives it all the way to the boundary.
Absolutely fabulous. Look at the footwork here. Flighted delivery, just that bit of a movement of the feet coming onto the front foot, and then the backswing even made it better. Superb technique.
This one going through the fielder. Again, it's all happening for Japan. Their fielding has not been on point, especially if you win the toss and decide to field first. You just need to make sure you take responsibility in the field.
This is where these 2 batters are such a class. 7 overs gone and it's 42 for no loss.
Shimaka Kato will continue for Japan. It's very important how Mai Yaganida is going to use Shimaka Kato and Ayaka Stafford, because those are her go-to bowlers. With the way you see the game, Dipesh, how do you think she can be able to manage those 2? There's still a very long way to go in the game, 13 overs to go. And Shimaka is into her third over already.
Well, yes, right now, I think the biggest concern for Japan will be the wicket which has not come in for a long time. You've already gone through the power play overs, but now, even with the spreaded field and that one chance in the previous over, uh, that could have been taken because Mariko Hill, if she stays for a longer period of time, then you can expect a score of 150 plus today.
Natasha Miles, very good shot, but there is protection in the deep. And Natasha hasn't been amongst the runs for Hong Kong, China, but today she looks very interested.
I think, secondly, the sense of responsibility you can see with Mariko and Natasha because they know that they're batting first, and probably now they won't be thinking too much because 44 in just the eighth over, which is in progress. I think it's a decent one. Try to scoop this one, but all you can see is not quite executed well.
Yeah, the responsibility for the both of them, the most experienced players on that team. They know they don't bat very deep, so they will need to anchor the team at the top and lay a very good foundation for the rest, for the others.
But I think it's Shimako Kato also, who is holding onto the right line that she's bowling. Again, the moment, you're watching Mariko Hill charging down the crease, she's immediately trying to bowl the ball which is away from her.
Yeah, the responsibility should also be in terms of who you're trying to take on. Shimako Kato, one of the good bowlers for Team Japan. Placement not there. These two run well between the wickets. So instead of Mariko Hill pushing the ball to the fielder, she can use those soft hands and they get a single. One is better than none.
Well, I think more to do with what Mariko and Natasha would be now thinking that you stand there for a longer period of time, if possible, get a.
That is chopped on by Mariko Hill, trying to take on Shimako Kato. We just mentioned that you need to pick your choice of bowlers.
Well, she was always on the aggressive side and she was trying to attack Shimako Kato, and that ball takes the inside edge and the timber is being destructed for the first time in this innings by Shimako Kato. Picks up a wicket of Mariko Hill. A big wicket here, Dennis.
Yeah, the very big wicket. Mariko Hill has been the form player for Hong Kong, China. But another player who's had a wonderful tournament for Hong Kong, China with the bat, the keeper batter for them, Yasmin Daswani, joins the captain Natasha Miles out in the middle. Yasmin Daswani takes so much responsibility for Hong Kong, China when she's batting. She soaks up the pressure, buys time, but later on she can really hit a long ball.
Well, rightly said there because even she's had a very good tournament till now. But it all boils down now to those big games because this is a do or die situation. If you sustain this one, you move up to semi-finals. But for that, it's a long road till now and yet to be thoroughly witnessed. And that is where you need to keep your cool and calm and try to just deliver what the team requires. Another change happening here in the bowling side.
Immediately welcomed into the attack with a single. Natasha Miles interested in getting on with things. Bowling change, Ayumi Fujikawa for Japan.
Well, yes, Fujikawa. The reason I think even she's brought in because she's a wicket-taking bowler. And at this point of time, Japan needs wickets.
Immediately off the mark there for Yasmin Daswani. She's been on form, has the second highest score in the tournament, 84. Only eclipsed yesterday by the captain of the UAE, Isa Osha, who got 96.
And she's always batting, loved batting in the one down position. I
Missed,
think
missed by the keeper, went through everyone. I think it was too close to sweep there for Natasha Miles.
another single here. And now here, I think Yasmin and Natasha would want to bring in more stability and runs into the innings, because when you are batting first in these big games like quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals, whatever, always these knockout games are important. And now that you've been put to bat first, I think 160, 170 should be the ideal total which they should be looking for.
Good use of the feet, but well done by Ayumi. 160, 170 is the target that has been given by Dipesh.
Not by me, I'm just saying, I think an ideal score that would be effective in a quarterfinals.
Very well played there by Yasmin. Just tucks into the square leg and they'll get a single. She's such a fine player. Takes her time, gets herself into the game, but eventually she can be very dangerous. 9 overs gone, 48 for 1, Hong Kong, China. Another bowling change for Japan. Mamta will be coming into the attack. Mamta was quite expensive yesterday.
Well, all the bowling changes that are happening, it's pure, captain trying to test bowlers here who can stand up for, particularly for this match at this moment, because right now you don't need wickets, and wickets is the only key where you can hold in the batters on the back foot.
Very little protection for Mamta on the offside because they're not playing with an extra cover. So she needs to be very, very careful to have good control.
Mamta Kaswan.
The poor delivery, but doesn't find the gap. You can see the frustration there from Natasha Miles. It's trying to tear the leather off the ball.
Natasha, interesting to see this contest here between the two.
Much better this time. She finds the gap, but straight to the fielder at deep mid wicket. So she'll only get 1 run. So far, a very quiet over for Mamta.
Well, of course, Mamta Kaswan, originally from India, Rajasthan. And just when we were talking to the coach out there, and he was saying that, you need to have minimum of 3 years in the residential area where you can be picked for the team. So the criteria is minimum you've been staying there from 3 years, and only after that they pick you up.
Again, hit hard, but straight to long on. Quite over. Mamta able to string together a couple of dot balls, and she only gave away 4 runs in that over. And at the halfway stage, Japan, who won the toss and elected to field first, have been able to restrict Hong Kong, China to 52 for 1 after 10 overs. Teams will take a short break and will also be back after the drinks break. We're back for the second half of this first quarterfinal game at the UKM Oval. Good use of the feet. It charges the ball at a chance immediately after the drinks. And Japan strike after the drinks break.
That is a huge wicket in the context of the game. Miles was holding that Hong Kong innings together. Was looking like Daswani could wield the long ball, but right after the drinks break, something had to give, and it is Natasha Miles, the Hong Kong China skipper, who will walk back to the dressing room.
Here, Chandel with the catching for the Japan. Ayumi Fujikawa tossing it up in the air, charging the ball, Natasha Miles, but never got it cleanly. And Chandel takes a very good catch, and you can see what it means, that particular wicket, because the celebrations were very sustained. Japan will feel like after this drinks break, they are on top of things now.
Well. Crucial juncture in the larger context of the game. And Pai is having a word with the Japanese fielders, concerned as to what the conversation is about. Well, Chandel will go out to get some treatment on her finger. In the meantime, there will be a replacement sorted out. That will, of course, be temporary. But the new batter, Yan Ki Chan.
Yeah, Chan Kahing has also been very much in form. She's coming at crucial moments when the team is on the ropes and played some very, very good hands. Very experienced, Chan Kahing.
100 plus T20I wickets, and usually is the enforcer when it comes to the batting. Comes in at number 4 for Hong Kong China. And she has the stage all set up for her in a much more comfortable position than they were 2 days ago.
Had a good platform for her to launch. 52 for 2. But advantage Japan.
Fujikawa, of course, is a designated wicket taker. Even yesterday, we saw how penetrative she was, how controlled she was. Despite the flow of runs, sometimes she keeps getting wickets.
And a good matchup for her against the Left Hander. But also good opportunity now for Japan because 2 new batters. Goes downtown, Chan Kahing. Does he find the gap? No. But at least she'll get off the mark. You can see from that shot immediately, Yusuf, that for her, she's going to be on the front foot immediately.
And that's a given with Chan Kahing. She's always willing to take initiative and has most times helped Hong Kong China's efforts. And with Daswani on the other side, who's been informed, the third leading run scorer of the tournament, there'll be a lot that Hong Kong will hope for by the end of these innings. And anything above 120, they are in pole position.
Right on top, but straight to the captain, Mai.
Daswani takes her beauty time. She doesn't go bang from ball one, unlike Chan Kahing. So this will be a very complimentary situation for Hong Kong China.
Very well played by Yasmin. And you make a good point there, Yusuf. Complementary in 2 ways as well. I feel that the left and right combination should help Hong Kong China.
And the Japan skipper will have to do her thinking as well because of that left-right combination. Has that steely look in her eyes, Ying.
I think she has the best attitude I've seen of all the batters. And gets one down to go down the ground, but to be kept in just for the 1 run. One thing about Chan Kahing, no matter the situation for her, she will always be on the front foot, very aggressive and putting pressure on the bowlers. And after 11 overs, immediately after the drinks, Japan were able to strike. They got rid of the Hong Kong China captain. And the score is 55 for 2 after 11. You can see some towels out on the field. That's an indication that it's still a bit wet in the outfield, so they need to keep drying the ball. Mai Yaganida, the captain for Japan, with the towel. She was just trying to make sure it's very dry for Mamta. Good first over from Mamta, went for only 4 runs. Yusuf, from the game we watched yesterday in Japan, this is where they just needed to control things against when they were playing Thailand. But Mamta went for a couple of runs because she didn't have the control like the rest of the bowlers. Down, uses a feet chance for a catch. Spin on the ball, taking it away from the fielder.
Critical moment in the context of the game. The point fielder needed to get around it pretty quickly because the longer you have Chan Kai-ying batting, the more Hong Kong will look potent going into those death overs.
Hey, you can see Chan Kahin on the other end. She's speaking to herself, I think, consistently to make sure. Very well stopped. Good stop. Good fielding of her own bowling, Mamta.
Very good fielding of her own bowling. Just like any other spinner, Kaswan comes from India, like Deepesh pointed out as well. Now plays for Japan. Kaswan to Daswani.
And good use of the field from Daswani. Daswani is in so much form that every time she comes out to bat, she just looks like she's walked out of the nets.
Exactly. I think Daswani by nature isn't the most aggressive player, but whenever she's out there, she's a very good exponent of judging the length and plays the ball on its own merit. And as long as she has the services of Chan Kai-ying on full force in the other end, she'll be good. She'll hold that innings together.
Good placement there from Chan Kahin. But they will have to be very careful against Ayaka Kato. Better control from Mamta today compared to yesterday. I think she's also playing with good protection all over the field.
Kaswan to continue.
Good areas from Kaswan.
I think with Japan, they'll be very proud of how they've carried themselves throughout this tournament. It's been a constantly evolving story, and these performances have been the cherry on top of the cake. In comes Daswani.
A full toss, a poor ball, and that racing to the boundary, but good work in the deep from the fielder. Gets away with the poor ball there, Mamta. That should conclude over number 12. It's now 60 for 2, Hong Kong, China. Ayumi Fujikawa will continue. Good matchup for her, but dangerous Ayumi because she's the wicket taker for Japan. But very tidy today, only 9 runs given away in 2 overs. Goes again, Chan Kahing, but straight to the field and out.
Dropped it in and out. It was. She'll be disappointed. The fielder at long on. Now that can be very, very costly. Haruna Iwasaki at long on. Got everything right. Got to the ball. Had a solid technique. Just couldn't hold on to it. How costly is that going to be, Dennis?
Yeah, in and out there for. And be good use of the feet and the committed dive from the fielder to get at least 2 runs. Aruna Iwasaki, the guilty party on the boundary. The ball came very, very quickly to hand. I think it was a very good catching height, but it was just in and out.
Just that excitement in the last moment, giving hard hands.
Well played there by Yasmin. A good use of her crease. Goes deep and she's able to hit it down the ground. Yusuf, you mentioned how costly can that be? Say catches win you games.
And she'll be disappointed because that was there for the taking. It will be salt to the wounds if Ying manages to clear the ropes anytime soon. That's left-handed, very elegant player.
Tossed up this time, doesn't get excited. Chan Kahing. I think Chan Kahing is always trying to hold herself back. She's a very, very aggressive player. Was on the sweep shot in front of square, this time straight to mid-wicket.
Immaculate timer of the ball, Chan Kai-ying. You rarely see her losing shape when she goes for these aggressive shots. Very much in control of her motions and that commitment, the head position, all coming through very well. It's just a matter of her connecting it, and it really flies through the field.
And good use of the feet by Yasmin. Another good over there from Ayumi Fujikawa to finish over number 13, 65 for 2 after 13 overs. Yusuf, I'll tell you, this is an area where Japan have been struggling. The overs in between, they have been conceding so many runs, but for today, Ayumi Fujikawa and Mamta, they haven't given away so many runs. So the guys who bowl at the back end, when Ayaka and Sumilka come back, will be the ones with the responsibility of keeping this total very, very small.
Mamtak has one to continue. Steps down the ground and slaps it down to deep mid-wicket.
Yeah, so when Shimako Kato and Ayaka come back, they will have the responsibility of making sure that this total does not go away from them.
Definitely. I think Japan will also be banking on their openers. Both of them very talented batters, but haven't come good so far in the tournament. And their team also is expecting a lot out of them. For now, it's Mamta Kaswan's responsibility to try and limit the Hong Kong-China scoring.
Has been post back in that crease just to get it to the leg side. They'll just get the 1 run. So anywhere around 112, 110, 115, I think Japan will have the faith that they can be able to take down that total.
Definitely. I think it's a matter of having them have that good start, and then Kato Stafford will have the stage set up for her. So anything in excess of 125, Hong Kong, China will tout themselves favorites.
And uses her feet, missed the ball, but got back in time. Kan Chaheng not holding herself back.
Hinase Goto standing a foot or two behind the wicket. That split second gap giving that opportunity for Kai-ying to come back into the crease.
And very well played there by Chan Kaheng. Gets it through the infield. Misfield from Karumi Ota.
Can't afford to do that, Japan. Then fielding needs to rise to the occasion. It's a knockout game in a qualifier tournament, and you need to bring your A game.
Hinase Goto, in her defense, the ball is also very slow, so it always gives the batters an advantage of coming back.
Winner of this makes it through.
Chan Ha-hing goes again. Won't find the gap. Good work there from Ayaka Kato. First quarterfinal on this UKM ground in the afternoon. Indonesia and Malaysia will be facing off here. But we are properly in the business end. Either go big or go home.
Kaswan to Ying.
Full toss and clap down the ground for a boundary.
Smashed it with utter disdain. 75 for 2 after 14. Hong Kong, China.
Yeah, Mamta leaking some runs in that particular over. The finish is out of the boundary. Kan Chahin, she's been looking for one, and she's finally able to access the ropes. 14 overs gone, 75 for 2 Hong Kong China. See that on the replay. Very good use of the feet there from Kang Chahin. Gets to the pitch of the ball, meets it on the full toss. And anywhere in the world, there are no fielders in that position.
This is a partnership Japan needs to break. Both batters in form, both batters playing very complementary roles. They hang around for long will be very costly.
Backs away again, gets a healthy outside edge. They should get a comfortable double. Now the runs are starting to flow for Hong Kong China.
Daswani getting into the act now. She's very good at judging line and length. Ability to create room for herself to access that area behind point, and did so ever so well. This is looking good for Hong Kong China.
Very good use of the feet, but saw her very, very early, Ayumi, and she dragged her length back.
$77 for 2 Hong Kong China.
Very well played there by Yasmin. Waits for the ball, and that should beat the two fielders to the boundary. What a beautiful shot.
You can see that she's not the kind of player who goes gung-ho ball for ball. She's happy to play balls on its merit and access gaps whenever it's offered, and does incredibly well. Look at that. Slightly short of her length, immediately creates the room. Very quick hands coming through the line of the ball, and 4, bang!
Yeah, the fielders give up the chase even before the ball go to the boundary. Such good placement there from Yasmin Daswani. Tossed up, good use of the feet again. I've just mentioned how Daswani bats. She really buys her time. Doesn't go gung-ho immediately, but she makes some very good damage.
Maintaining a very healthy strike rate as well, Daswani. Up close to run a ball. Be happy with that. But that on your screen is a huge threat for Japan.
And good use of the feet there from Chan Kahin, but hit with so much power, but straight to the fielder. This is one of the things I've liked about how Hong Kong China apply themselves, the use of the feet. Every time they've seen some flight on offer, they've just made sure that they get to the pitch of the ball.
I think yes, they have different skill sets. We'll come back to that after this ball.
Chance straight to the fielder and put down again.
But just speaking about how well they were using their feet. The first thing they do is use their feet and hit it straight to the fielder. End of the 15th, 84 for 2. $84 for 2, Hong Kong, China. Really like how they go about their batting business. Very clear, defined roles. Hill and Miles to open. Daswani at number 3 to hold the fort. Ying to take it to the attack. Here comes Ayako Stafford. Steps down the ground. Daswani hits it hard, hits it in the gap. Too much work for the fielder to do at long off. That'll be 4 more runs. Lovely, lovely batting. Welcome back into the combox, Deepesh.
Well, you can see now the gears are getting changed because it's the last 5 overs where you would want to just get on to the bowling and get runs on the board. 88 already. They would be looking to pass that 100 runs very soon and then just keep the momentum on from here.
Daswani judging length and seeing that ball like a football now. Very adept with her footwork. slamming it across to square leg. Now
She's the one to look on for this tournament because Yusuf, she's got a good habit of scoring runs.
both these players dropped already, and that is not something you can afford as a team in a knockout stage. Stafford to continue. This time gives it plenty of air time, and Ying hits it straight back to the bowler. That'll be wicket number 3. Hong Kong China losing their third, and Ayaka Stafford basically telling, if you can't do it, let me do it. What a fantastic catch on the return.
Well, yes, a big wicket for Hong Kong China here. And look at the reflexes. Tossed up in the air, full toss ball taken on the up, and what a lovely effort by Stafford that is. No celebrations after that, but just that silence probably said 1,000 words after taking that wicket. Lovely.
Frustration is very apparent with the Japanese team. They've let down opportunities, but this time Stafford managing to hold on to it. Now the new batter, Marina Lamplo, she can do a thing or two with the bat. Very innovative in her approach and can access all parts of the ground with equal skill. And good news for Japan is Ahilya Chandel is back on the field. She went out to get some treatment on her finger. Now well and truly back in action.
Well, now you need, these bowlers to really continue the way Stafford has done till now. She's just got a wicket, but, overall, even if you're talking about Ahilya Chandel or the bowlers that have been coming in for Japan, the only task at the hand right now will be to just maintain that run rate, which is, not too much high. Right now they're playing on 5.74. Probably the effort will be to reduce the run rate from here on by picking up wickets, not giving the batters to get easy runs.
Comes Kaketo Stafford. First ball, I told you she's very innovative in her approach. Lamplos reverse sweeps it. Was the same approach the other day, and the ball trickling down to the boundary. A little bit of work to do for the fielder. They'll come back for a third. This is good batting by Hong Kong. Exactly, Deepesh. Run containment is the main target here, and of course, wickets is the name of the game in that sense.
The message from the dugout will be loud and clear. Doesn't matter what happens. We just have these 5 overs to score the maximum. So just go on there, just enjoy. Don't take too much pressure that it's a quarter-final game, but play it like any other game and just try to get runs on the board. Another one. Look at that gap.
Makes room and cuts it hard, just 2 yards to the left of the fielder at cover. And Lamplo is through. I beg your pardon, that was Yasmin Daswani. She's looking a class apart, looking even better than her group stage performances now, Deepesh.
She is a run getter, isn't it? What a lovely way. Just saw that bounce, shot of the length delivery, and gives herself some room and just smashes that towards the square area of the wicket.
Kato Stafford drops it short. Once again, Daswani, she's batting like she has a point to prove. This is some serious batsmanship. She'll try and come back for a second. Bit of a miscommunication, but the throw is haphazard, allows for Lamplo to comfortably get through to the other end.
Look at that, match presence. Just knew that the throw will take some time to come in and gets that single into a 2. Big overs gone. And after the end of 16, it is 98 for 3.
Intense conversations between both the batters here. I think they are now over a run a ball. They look for an intense flourish because 130, 140 something in that range. Hong Kong, China really put themselves in pole position.
And the second innings, even Hong Kong, China, that's what we'll be thinking. I mean, just to continue to your point, very good point that you mentioned. Is purely because 130, 140 with that kind of a score in a quarterfinals, they have a very good bowling side. So they'll try to come back in the bowling as well. So it will be very important for Japan right now. No doubt, they have good batters also. Japan, when you talk about Hinase Goto, you have Ayaka, Kato Stafford, You have Haruna Iwasaki. You have Ahilya Chandel as well.
Extremely well put together bowling unit. And Chandel has 2 overs left, mind you, and she's very, very good. It was a scare for Japan when she went out with an injury scare, but she's all well and good to bowl. Took that catch of
Right now, whatever they deliver, it's just the fact that is it should not cross more than 140, 150. Otherwise, Hong Kong, China will be in a very strong position.
think that should be key, and that's why they brought in Ahilya Chandel back into the attack. They need wickets and they need it quick. In comes Chandel, comes with a rapid boost of energy. Dances down the ground field. They're getting underneath. Squandered the opportunity yet again. Marina Lamplo can make you regret the living days out of you if you stays for far too long. And Chandel, immediate impact, Deepesh.
It's a lovely way when you say Lamplo in form like this, just picks that ball up very fine. This could have been one of the remarkable catches and a very important one at this stage of the game. As you rightly said, Yusuf, she can be dangerous, and how?
In comes Lamplo once again, steps down the ground, just another single. You know what, Deepesh? When Hong Kong are bowling, they are going to get a few more opportunities like this. And whether they hold on to them or not will define who wins the game.
Especially in a T20 game, if you're talking about Lamplo, her range hitting areas, if you have to define, it is long on, long off, it is mid wicket, it is deep mid wicket, and she can really hit that sixes, long sixes.
Chandel once again using the pace on the occasion. Yasmin Daswani, a lot of work to do for Kaswan, but they'll come back for a second one. This is good batting by Hong Kong. Lamplu coming in for a third. This is some serious misdemeanors by Japan at the boundary line, trying to do a 1-2, but the ball going really nowhere.
I'm just surprised. I mean, when the short third fielder kept running, why would she give a pass to the another fielder? I mean, you should be throwing at the wicket keeper's end and not the other fielders. Oh God.
Lamplu hits it up in the airfield, closing in on it, but the ball will fall in no woman's land. 104 for 3 now, Japan. With that, they'll move on to 105 for 3. This is going to look like a very competitive score. They need that wicket. Either of these wickets, they'll take it with all their money, Japan.
Lamplau right now playing with a sword. She'll have to be careful. But at this moment, they need runs, and it's going to come. The way they're playing, the gears have been changed. You can see a lot of scoop shots. You will see a lot of those reverse sweeps also might be coming in the near end of the bowling. But Lamplo, everybody is watching what's her next move.
Smart batting by both, especially the Swan, even on that occasion. After she pushed the field back, immediately got off strike, kept the scoreboard ticking and gave the strike back to Lamplo. Not too easy to deal with somebody like Chandel. If she's bowling straight at you and you're trying to hit her across the line, you might as well be perfect with it. And Chandel has the last laugh. End of the 17th, 106 for 3. Very composed Hong Kong dugout. They know what exactly their players are doing and they're doing their roles to perfection.
Well, yes, both these batters have really taken on these run scoring, especially from the last 2 overs. If you've seen, Lamplo is hitting left, right, center, everything that has to be done. She's just getting those hit perfectly. And on the other hand, I think the impressive one in the tournament, I think till now has been Yasmin Daswani. After a good start that was given, by Natasha Miles, then you had, Mari Kohil also coming in. Then you had Daswani coming in. Then now in a partnership with Lamplo.
Drives well, Daswani, trying to look for the second run, but kept in place by the long on fieldsman. I think, yes, Deepesh, they've been given that good start. That's why I told you. What I really like about this Hong Kong team is how well clarity and definition they have in terms of their batting order. They know who are the openers, who are the enforcers, who are the anchors. In comes Kato over the wicket this time, slaps it and slaps it hard. Lamplu, when she connects, it goes very quick.
Well, a lower full toss ball and an ideal delivery at this point in time, especially for Lamplo. This would be a dream delivery for her. Nothing much to do on it, just to guide the ball and direct it. Use the pace of the bowler. Even the bat swing had a lot of power. And there she goes towards a deep square leg region for yet another boundary. The score moves to 111 for 3.
Very high bat lift Lamplu, so any sort of connection, the ball will fly through. Now changing the field. Square leg comes in. Fine leg goes out and forms a bit of a squarish fine leg. Deep mid wicket in place. Long on, long off outside the circle as well. Very vacant areas on the offside, but Lamplu not the most preferential offside player. So Japan doing the strategy right. They'll need to make sure that the execution is on point as well.
The execution has to be there because just 2 overs remaining after this. And trust me, they're looking to cross it beyond 140. And look at the way Lamplo and the running between the wickets. I mean, Yusuf, the fielder was just inside the circle near that square leg region and the ball was hit very fast. But look at the start, Yasmin Daswani takes just to complete that one run. So you can now imagine how a single run is also important for Hong Kong, China.
I think, like you said earlier, the message would have been loud and clear. In comes Kato. Driven and driven well. The message would have been loud and clear. Now they're coming back for a second. This is incredible running, Deepesh. Lamplu took off. She took off like a gazelle and was right back just on time.
Every single run, if you've seen that previous one, Lamplo was the one who ran the first one very hard because she knew that she has to come back on the striker's end, as if she had already thought that this is 2 runs and not just a single.
Maximizing those opportunities. Daswani on strike. This time Fuller tries to use the pace, misses her, misses the keeper, misses everything, and that'll be for Hong Kong, China. They are running away with this on a merry way now. 118 on the board.
No matter how are the runs coming, at this moment it's important you get it. Got some wood on it. It was in the air, but a very difficult chance for the wicket keeper, Inase Goto, and that will go to the boundary, adding 4 more runs to the total. Will be 118 and still counting. Last ball of the over.
Kato to Daswani. On a length, pulled down to deep mid wicket. They'll only come back for a single. End of the over, and Daswani will retain strike. 43 for her, and Hong Kong, China, 119 for 3. Two more overs left, and Chandel will bowl out. It's very crucial over in the context of the game. If Japan manage to contain the Hong Kong scoring here, they will have some hope. Round the wicket, uses the pace. This is lovely, Deepesh.
I think this is, the third or the fourth scoop shot that she's tried to play and got successful as well. Earlier also, she played in the similar fashion where she got some wood on it. It was a class chance, but this time very much thoughtful from Yasmin Daswani, and she's almost heading to her half century, 47 of 32, and what an innings.
I have to put your hat down because it's been an innings of high class. She hasn't gone gung-ho. She's played with some calculated measure, and she's been ably supported by those around her, both Miles and Chan Kai-ying, along with Lamplu, who's now out in the middle with her. Messaging is very clear. We go for as much runs as we can. And Daswani now slowly closing in on that title of highest run scorer for the tournament. This time hits it well, but hits it straight to the fielder at short fine leg. 48 now.
Heading towards that single run, adding up whatever she can. And the interesting part, as we just were speaking, that even they're working hard towards a single also, the way they're working hard towards a boundary. Now here's a chance. The ball will fall short. Bit of a misfield will allow the second one to happen. They're fast runners between the wicket, and it has been impressive throughout.
Long legs, Lamplugh able to come back quickly for that second run, just in time. Direct hit, very good fielding. 126 for 3 now. Hong Kong, China putting themselves in a very strong position here.
Absolutely. I think the partnership now moving to 37 of between these two, having faced 18 deliveries only.
48 of 33 as well for Daswani. This time steps down the ground Lamplugh, but no the real strong connection. She was on less than run a ball when she was on 20. She's really rocketed the past 12 to 13 deliveries. Some solid batting. The Lamplugh also in on the act.
This is the one to now look forward to. 48 that Yasmin Daswani is on. Will she get to the half century in this particular ball?
Try and come back for the second on this occasion. Daswani, they're pushing hard and she'll come back. What an innings this has been. An innings of the highest order. Class personified. She's been innovative. She's taken those calculated risks and a raise of the bat from the Hong Kong China's number 3 wicket keeper batter. She's batted really well this tournament so far. Yet another 50 to her tally.
Well, 5 boundaries in that innings. And what a very well deserved 50 that she's got. And when you're talking about 5 boundaries, 20 runs have come with boundaries. Other than that, everything has been running around. This is the 6th one, and a magical performance there by Daswani once again in this tournament, especially in this big match, the quarterfinals.
Chandel taken to the cleaners in that over. None for 27. She completes her spell. An important final over coming up. And Hong Kong, China in pole position now. 133 for 3.
When you're talking about 6 boundaries that has come in that innings of 54 runs, that means you can imagine the way she's worked hard for those singles, doubles, and pushing herself every time and then, because everything has not come only by one shot, but a lot to add up with a lot of efforts that have gone into, and that kind of makes her more special for Hong Kong, China.
She's not just run her runs, she's run others' runs as well. So much of effort. She's been there right from the beginning after the first wicket of Miles and Hill, I beg your pardon. And since then, she's looked really just from where she left off in the previous game.
Last 6-1. Deliveries coming.
Yasumoto to Hill. I beg your pardon, to Lamplugh, and Lamplugh slaps it down to short deep mid wicket. Comes back really well. Incredible running. My Deepesh here is applauding.
Absolutely. I mean, you see, the first run, after even running so much, Daswani immediately calls it for 2, where the shot has been played by Lamplugh.
They're leaving nothing to chance here, Hong Kong. Maximizing every run scoring opportunity. Yasumoto to Lamplugh. Creates some room. Tries to go hard across the line, but no real connection. Ball down through to long on. Brings Daswani back on strike. 136 now.
Well, I think if you're keen on your TV sets or on your mobile phone watching this game, and I'm sure those who are supporting Hong Kong, China would be loving to see this side, what the next move of Daswani will be. Slashes that in the air, straight down the ground. Lamplugh wants to go for second. No, says Daswani. No, says Daswani.
I think the second was on there because Lamplugh was already halfway through.
I think it was more to do with Daswani, probably, not sure whether she'll get back to the striker's end or not. And I think even the first one, she didn't really, on that occasion, ran very fast. Now, changing the ends.
Yasumoto to Lamplo. Slaps it really hard down the ground. They'll come back for a second. Good fielding out there in the deep. This is good cricket all round. Comes back for a second, Daswani.
Absolutely superb on both the ends. Be it Japan, be it Hong Kong, China. The efforts are there 100%. Even this time, almost saving 2 runs for the team, where Lamplo and Daswani are trying to work hard for even a single. There are Japan fielders who are working hard to save a single or a 2.
Yasumoto slaps it hard on that occasion. They'll try and come back for a second. Now. Chance of a run out. And finger goes up. They had to do what they had to do. Umpire Ruqya Sultana immediately put a finger up. But Lamplo can walk out with a head held high.
What a wonderful cameo of 20 runs that she's played, of 12 that she's faced. It doesn't matter because you had to take that chance of the second run, considering after this it's going to be the last ball of this innings. So whatever it takes, it is going to be an effort that will be remembered and applauded as well. Marina Lamplo there, 20 of 12 that she's played. A fantastic innings and a cameo that ends with 1 boundary in that innings, and the rest is history.
Remember, the Page winner of this qualifies to the Asia Cup. And the top 4 teams of the tournament qualify for the Asia Cup. So you get a spot in the semi-finals, you have a berth at the Asia Cup as well.
That's what they're looking for in this tournament. And this one's in the air. Oh, lovely catch. A wicket to end this innings.
But they'll be at 140, Japan, as they conclude the innings. Mariam Bibi did the right thing, went for the big shot. Fielder placed exactly for that kind of shot. And that'll be the end of the Hong Kong-China innings. They'll walk out with conviction. Japan, they'll have a lot of batting to do. 140 for 4. That's how the scorecard looks. Natasha Miles and Mariko Hill held the start together, made sure that they negated any sort of threat with the new ball. And then came Yasmin Daswani. Slow start as usual, but what a cameo. 55 of 36, holding that Hong Kong-China innings throughout the tournament, and today was no different. And Chan Kai-ying, playing her role to perfection, came in, played the role of aggressor, and kept things for Marino Lamplo to finish off. And both Lamplo and Daswani taking it to the Japanese bowlers and eventually finishing on a competitive 140 for 5. Well, nothing much on the scorecard to proudly speak of, but Ahilya Chandel, the numbers don't speak as much as the good bowling was. Expensive in that final over, but Nonoha Yasumoto, Shimako Kato and Ayaka Stafford along with Ayumi Fujikawa all taking a wicket apiece. But the pick of the bowlers, Ayumi Fujikawa, incredible spell, kept the runs intact and got that all-important wicket as well. And when Japan come back for the chase, they'll have their work cut out for their openers and the top order. Big chase coming up, and right after this short break, we'll see you on the other side. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here with the Japan chase. Ikra Sahar to start our proceedings for Hong Kong. Got 4 for 4 in the previous game. And both these Japanese batters, highly reputed but haven't got going so far. In comes Sahar. Will bail out on that occasion. Umpire Rokeya Sultana signaling dead ball. Welcome back, Dennis.
Yeah, the runs on board for Hong Kong, China, quite a big mountain for Japan to climb.
In comes Sahar.
141 is what they need. And I think at 7 runs every over, Hong Kong, China could be confident that if they're able to string together a good passage of play for themselves, some very, very tight overs up front, they should be able to stretch that 7 runs required every over to at least 9 or 10.
I think Iwasaki very capable of batting. Even yesterday, she got that 6 of the first ball of the innings against UAE, I beg your pardon, Thailand. So she'll want to make sure that she keeps going with that kind of momentum. In comes Sahar to Iwasaki. Short, wide, punched in front of cover. That'll be the start Japan wanted.
Yeah, Arune Iwasaki very, very aggressive inside this power play and immediately gets some good bat on ball. Some weight on offer there from Ikra Sahar. And once she beat the infield, the rest was to the boundary.
Well, Dennis, if I'm Japan, my plan is going to be very clear. To try and get the runs required to less than a run a ball in the power play. Once you do that, it takes the pressure much off you and you can ride on that momentum as well. Sahar concedes a single.
Yusuf, I don't know if you've considered being a coach because that's very good advice. Just make sure you're going with the required rate and never behind it. Push the game as deep as possible. And at the back end, the pressure works both ways. Anything can happen.
I mean, we frequently speak about the fear of loss, but there's that thing called the fear of victory. When you see victory just in front of you, you begin to panic.
Yeah, there are no more games after this for the loser. So it's go big or go home.
Sahar to Oda. Oh, that's it. Ikra Sahar. Reputation is written when she comes to here. And she lives up to it with equal style. First ball. And that'll be curtains for Oda.
Yeah, Karumi Ota will have to go back to the hut without bothering the scorers. Ikra Sahar, wicket to wicket, bringing the wickets into play. But Karumi Ota, I think, will be guilty there for being very high up. The ball sort of creeping under that bat and rocking into the stumps.
This is exactly what they didn't need.
Yeah, Ikra, you can't keep out of the action. See the replay again now. Ikra Sahar, wicket to wicket, so high up. Took out leg stump. Some late swing there from Ikra Sahar and just took out leg stump.
Well then, there's a new guest at the crease. Ayaka Kato Stafford, leading run scorer in the tournament.
What a tournament she's had. She's been the go-to player. She has always come in when there's a crisis. And this is another opportunity for her to continue her reputation.
Sahar to Stafford. Good matchup this. She respects the good delivery. Happy to send it back. But she'll be very wary, Kato Stafford, that there's a lot on the line.
Yeah, she sets up very well, but you can see again, they've done their homework, Hong Kong, so
they can't afford dot balls here much. Japan, they need to keep the scoreboard ticking. Comes Ikra Sahar to Kato Stafford. Takes the edge, and the ball will fly down to deep third man. Gets off the mark, Kato Stafford.
Really bats like a 16-year-old. No problems in the world whatsoever. She doesn't care so much, but she's such a fine player. After the first over, Japan are 6 for 1. in response to Hong Kong China's 141.
Siu Mei Wai, the new bowler for Hong Kong China, shares the new ball with Ikra Sahar as usual. Kato Stafford to wield the willow. Looks like Kato Stafford is taking her time here.
She always does, and doesn't but any different from how Yasmin does for Hong Kong. They really take their time, grow into the game, but once they start to find their range, they are very, very good stroke players.
Stafford facing up to Wei.
So May we today touch slower. She's also always pushing the ball, but I think they understand that they are bowling to the person who's the leading run scorer in the tournament. You don't want to give her any pace to work with.
Kato Stafford also will be very wary that she can't be hanging around far too long. She needs to look for singles, because every dot ball is pushing that required rate up, Dennis.
And the captain quickly, Natasha Miles, they are adding herself into the cover region. They are making sure it's a packed offside field. If you're going to get a ball through that, you have to needle it. And where she goes, the ball goes to her immediately. So no fly zone for Kato Stafford on the offside.
Important that she hangs in there. Kato Stafford. Siu Mai Wai. This time connects it. Chance of a round at the striker's end. Direct hack, and she was back on the flight.
Got on her bike very quickly, Kato Stafford, after playing the shot. But I think a very, very tight swing on. She was in trouble. The beauty about that shot is that he didn't hit it so hard, so it didn't go quickly to the field, and the fielder had to attack the ball. But a tight single.
Well then, Haruna Iwasaki, ever since that first boundary of her bat, there's been a relatively dry inflow of runs. That'll be running on her mind. She's an aggressive player. Siu Mei Wai to Iwasaki. Happy to defend the good ball. End of the second over, 7 for 1. Ayaka Kato Stafford facing up to Ikra Sahar, both in-form players. This time on a length.
Comes beautifully down on the ball, Ayaka Stafford, but doesn't play some very, very strong shots. So sometimes it's very easy to feed her bat and then just set up a very good field set.
And Natasha Miles, with her years of experience, will know that. In comes Sahar to Stafford. Taken on the full chance of a wicket here. The ball taking the aerial route, but falls safely for Lamplugh to chase it down, and Stafford will come back for a second.
And that's what I've been talking about, Stafford just pushing at the ball, not going through with power, just sort of finish the shot. That ball will rest to the boundary because she lines it up well and she holds a very good shape.
Very clean head position and weight transfer. One of the most technically adept batters in the tournament. Sahar to Stafford. Has that bit of a trigger movement which helps her commit to the front foot pretty quickly.
Yeah, Yusuf, borrowing the words of the famous commentator like us, Ian Bishop. You will have to remember that name because I think she's one for the future for Japan.
And for Australia. You never know. Here comes Sahar. Well, takes it on a length, straight to the fielder. Right now, Ayako Kato Stafford eligible to play for both Australia and Japan. The effective allegiance will be demanded once there's a World Cup situation involved, but for now, she's a dual passport holder and has already made her debut for the Australia under 19s.
I hope Australia is not an option for her because she'll be her experience will be more useful for Japan.
Hit hard, hit over the point fielder. Fielders converging, a valiant effort by the vice captain Mariam. But they'll not get the wicket. But Hong Kong now affecting a few things here.
Yeah, Iwasaki will be very, very lucky because Mariam Bibi takes those even with her eyes closed. She has a knack of taking spectacular catches. She'll be very fortunate with that one. You can see Miriam there with a smile on her face, thinking that you got her with that one.
In comes Sahar. Drives straight to Bibi at short extra cover. Natasha Miles positioning herself in that attacking position now. End of the third over, 11 for 1.
Japan finishing second in Group A that had the likes of Thailand, Myanmar, Bahrain, and Mongolia. The only loss for them in the tournament so far has been the game against Thailand.
Shumei to continue. Fuller length, hit hard, hit over the infield. That's a shot and a half by Iwasaki. 4 runs for Japan.
Yeah, Iwasaki very, very aggressive as well. This time over pitched and outside of stump. Gives that full toss the treatment, the half volley treatment. Just an extension of the arms for her. She has the power. So she will trust her hands to go through the shot. Immediately, Natasha Miles ringing the changes. Goes with the extra cover and brings up the fine leg.
Very grounded Japanese skipper in the dugout. Way to Iwasaki.
Iwasaki plays in a way that she's always waiting for that big shot. She will defend anything she cannot hit, but once she sees something that she can offer at, she will go after that bowling.
And Japan do need to go after the bowling. They just have 100 deliveries left, 126 to get. They can't let that gap slip away too quick. Iwasaki facing up to a short hit in front of cover, but deep fielder in place. Chan Kai-ying.
Chan Kai-ying with the boundary responsibility. That's why she was put in that zone. Good thinking, very dynamic today, Natasha Miles. She's not waiting for things to unravel.
That'll be a huge moment in the context of the game. Japan, now then, there'll be shivers in that dressing room because the Ayaka Kato Stafford was their trump card. She's fallen for the oldest trick in the textbook, Dennis.
Yeah, Ayaka Stafford unfortunately doesn't get the power, but width on offer again. Stafford stepping there, but she doesn't get the height of Ikra Saha, who takes a very good catch over her head. Just needed to play that ball a little bit late and on the ground. She could have gotten the gap. And Japan lose their second wicket, 16 for 2.
Sahar involved in all fronts now. Got that wicket first up and caught the second one. And now then it's Shimako Kato who's been brought to bat. Both of these are very capable batters. On their day, they can bat out any opposition. But
The the worry for Japan is that Aruna Iwasaki always very aggressive, so she's a shot away from getting out.
There's always that threat of losing your aggressive, but in comes away. Kato lets the ball go through. Umpire Ankita Guha says wide.
Usually, Japan have always repaired their innings when the two come together. Shimako Kato and Ayaka Stafford. Now she has departed. They need a new plan.
Both key batters back in the hut. Way Kato tries to swipe at it, but no connection.
Very onside player. Very, very strong on the onside, Shimaka Kato. So she will be always favoring that onside.
This time comes down the ground, hits it hard, hits it in the gap. She's very powerful when she connects it, Kato. 4 runs to Japan.
Yeah, Kato, very, very powerful and also likes to use her feet. This time dancing down the ground and hitting it down the ground. Dancing down the wicket and hitting it straight past the bowler. Gets off the mark with the boundary. After 4 overs, 21 for 2, Japan. Hong Kong, China, winners of Group D. Group D had Nepal, Bhutan, and Qatar.
Ikra Sahar continuing right arm over the wicket to Iwasaki. Taken on the full, driven well, square at the wicket, but deep fielder in place for that. You mentioned yesterday, Dennis, about having that extra cover field like the power play. How often teams miss out on that. Natasha Miles immediately proactively has brought in that option, and they are conceding far less runs now.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very, very good defensive option, especially if you have a bowler who has the discipline.
Sahar to Kato, chance of a wicket, and drops it. Bibi, very uncharacteristic of her, Dennis.
Yeah, Miriam Bibi never puts down so many, but what a fielding change that was going to be, because Natasha Miles had only moved her in that position. Again, some weight on offer from Ikra Sahar.
Should have been taken.
Yeah, playing the ball on the up, Shimaka Kato.
She'll be the one disappointed the most. Sahar to Kato. Comes down the wicket, hits it hard, hits it straight to Mariko Hill. Chance of a wicket. Oh, my goodness, Dennis.
Yeah, the backup again missing, but she had all the right in the world to take a shot. The stumps, Mariko Hill, because Shimaka Kato was way out of her ground, but the backup there missing.
Sahar visibly dejected with the backup because Hill had every right to go at the stumps. Kato, look at that, was quick and my goodness. Direct hit and that was gone. And the keeper and fielder ball watching.
Yeah, keeper and I think Khan Shaheen got in each other's way. Both of them thinking the other is the one going to do the backup. And in the end, no one doing it and goes all the way to the boundary.
Sahar to Iwasaki. Umpire Ruqayya Sultana from Bangladesh says wide.
Yeah, clearly that was 5 runs. The 4 is counted as a bye, but they had taken the run. I think they had already completed the run by the time the ball got to the boundary.
Ruqayya Sultana stands in along Ikra Sahar, who comes into bowl. Taken on the full, plays it mildly, and Ying able to cut it off. Just a single. Should have been more.
Taking the risk, Shimaka Kato, since she's come around. I think she's realizing that if they're going to take down that total, they need to take a lot more risks. Up to until you get them out, it is game on. They will be fighting fire with fire.
Miles always opting for that additional over from Sahar in the power play. This time away from her length. I think Sahar needs to take a breath now because after that overthrow, she looked pretty disappointed.
Yeah, and usually, if you realize, Yusuf, that those opening bowlers, the overs that they concede runs in are usually the third over. They bowl the first two very well, and then in the third over, that's when they start to leak runs.
The other day, of course, in her third over, she got the fourth wicket in the spell. Different day today and different batter. Ooh, beat the bat of a pace on that occasion, Sahar.
Yeah, Yasmin, that's why he didn't know so much about that once the ball beat Shimaka Kato.
I like how Daswani is wearing a hat instead of a cap.
I always prefer the hats when I'm playing as well instead of the cap.
Remembers a famous wicketkeeper from your part of the world who used to wear a hat. Dennis, in comes Ikra once again. Takes the edge, goes to third man. We'll come back to that conversation. End of the fifth. 30 for 2. Well, speaking about keepers with hats, they brought out the helmet for the keeper.
I think that should only mean one thing. They are going to the slow bowling options. Chan Kahin takes the ball.
More than 100 wickets for Hong Kong, China. Welcome back, Mr. Deepesh Sule.
Thank you, Yusuf. What a wonderful game, and how nicely it is poised out here. And this is the contest, where we all will be interested now to see from here on one last over of power play. And after that, when the field spread out, what will be the game plan? Chanka in coming out to bowl.
Takes it on the full Kato. Very strong down the wicket. And Iwasaki, very strong square of the wicket. We'll have to see how they pace their innings, Japan here. Iwasaki facing up to Ying. Sweeps and sweeps straight to the fielder at square leg. Chance of a run out. Kato needs to be a bit quick with the running.
Two good batters are out here in the center, and they're looking very strong. Unfortunate that a couple of wickets which went in early, especially one of Ayaka Kato Stafford. But after that, I think Haruna and Shimako has really taken on the responsibility pretty well. Yusuf?
Yes, Japan, they'll need to take ownership. We know that there's a big score up front, but it's important that they try and do their level best. In comes Chan Kaing to Kato. Kato hits it straight to BB at short mid wicket. Chan Kaing to Kato. Gives it ample airtime. Eyes lit up for Kato on that occasion. Hits it hard, but no real connection. Lamplu at long on, cutting it off. Very concerned Japan dugout there, the manager. Comes Shankai, uses a wrist, wonderful stroke play, lets the ball go through, uses the pace, some work to do for the fielders. The outfield is fairly rapid here, but the ball stops just in front of the boundary line. Two more to the Japan total, 36 for 2. End of the sixth over, and that concludes the power play.
Well, now we're seeing another bowling change here. Venkatesh Ruchita comes into the attack. Yusuf, and if you have to just compare, the batting runs, especially if you have to see the Hong Kong China batting lineup, and that's gone. The very first ball of this over, and what a welcome for Venkatesh Ruchita.
Ruchita Venkatesh being brought in the attack as the first change after the power play, and no kindness whatsoever from Kit. You were mentioning something very important about the tournament, Dipesh.
Well, especially about Hong Kong China batting, if you've seen, the runs have scored 50% on the onside, 15% on the offside. But then when you go back to Japan right now, they've got maximum amount of runs, which is 73% of the runs have been scored on the offside. Considering now they are also trying to balance it out with the boundary that we just saw towards the mid wicket region. So runs are not going to stop like this unless and until you get wickets. Japan, trust me, I mean, they've been playing quite long now, and also experience comes from both sides. And this is the beauty, of knockout games out here, because it's not going to be an easy ride for you.
I mean, both these sides have met before, and the last time they met, Japan went home with the honors. The international series that happened in December, Japan came up trumps in the 8-team tournament to beat Hong Kong in the final. So they'll be very aware that this team can pack a punch if needed. Ruchita Venkatesh will have a job to do. She can't just go through the motions and let the match happen on its own. And Natasha Miles will have to be very proactive. In comes the Venkatesh to Kato. Quicker, shorter. She missed out there. Hits it in front of square to Bibi, who's at deep extra cover.
Well, if you've seen, that early loss of wickets, the first wicket of Kurumi Ota fell when, they were playing on 5 runs. Then it was Ayaka Stafford who got out when they were playing on 16 runs. But after this, 27 runs, add this boundary, 31 runs in total, between these two, that speak volumes, and the intent with which Shimako Kato and Haruna Wasaki is out there to damage further.
And well hit over the infield, using those gaps. Iwasaki, she's not going down without a fight. And you could see Ahelia Chandel also very loud from the dressing room.
Till now the 4 bowling options have been used by Natasha. Another one that almost wanting to glued in the hands.
Had to hang on to it when the rebound came. Venkatesh inducing that drive from the fielder, got to it and had to have held on during the rebound, but end of the 7th, 47 for 2. Japan, if they lose this, they'll have only themselves to blame, because they've batted really well, Deepesh, and they've let go of, squandered of countless opportunities in the field which could have brought down that Hong Kong total way below where it ended up eventually being.
Well, of course, Chang Kai-en coming again out to bowl. As I was saying that, 4 bowling options have been... The Yorker has gone into destroying the wood. Further, Haruna is Iwasaki. Oh, not Haruna. It is... Shimako Kato. Oh, God. What a big damage out here now. The dent is going to stay for a long time, Yusuf.
Erika Oda, the new batter now. Erika Oda usually opens the batting, demoted down the order. In fact, remember Vinay Iyer telling us that Erika is one of their strike batters. And a lot of hopes rested on that lady on screen there. Kato has to go. And in comes Oda. Chan Kai-ing. You can't keep her quiet for too long, Deepesh.
I till now, I mean, the kind of batting that has been done, and runs were getting scored, but that wonderful Yorker by Chanka in just destroys the plan further for Shimako Kato. But there are some good batters, yet to bat. And certainly I'm just a little surprised because in the previous game, I think it was in Pioneers or UKM, I don't remember that. But what I remember is the opening partnership between Hinase Goto and, Ayaka Stafford. But at this moment, if you've seen, Hinasa Goto is yet to bat. So there is Ahilya Chandel, there is Ayumi Fajukawa, there is Hinase Goto, there is Mamta Kaswan, then there's Mayangya Yanagida, the captain, of course, Erika Oda, who's just come out to bat at this moment. But there are some good batting lineup, and the batting depth is nicely there with Japan still.
Definitely. I think they do have a reputed set of batters, and they will want to ensure that they chase this down, because it's going to be a huge moment in Japanese cricket history if they do get through to the Asia Cup.
The only thing to look for is Ikra Sahar has got 3 overs completed. She's got a wicket. So she's the one who is the wicket-taking bowler for you. Chankain might have got that second one, almost carrying in the hands with a smile. There is a little bit of that upsetness as well. It was dropped nicely. God. Chankain kept on looking at the fielder. I think it was Natasha Miles, the captain herself. You can't even say anything to the captain.
That's the point. Who do you hold accountable?
Look at that once again. Oh, it was not an easy one, Yusuf.
Wasn't the most easy one, but Natasha Miles, she has years on her back to hold on to those. Chankai.
All she could say to the captain is, "Come on, Caps. I could have had one more." And
she could have told her, "You could have done miles better."
That's a nice one.
Gets onto the back foot, and Oda moves on to 2 runs. Japan still ahead of the run rate. End of the 8th, 50 for 3. Joylene Daliwal, right arm off spinner. Daliwala, I beg your pardon, to Oda on that occasion. She's happy to knock it down for a single and let Iwasaki do the aggressor's role. And she's done it well so far. 22 of 17. Haruna Iwasaki.
Now, in total, if you see, Yusuf, they need more 91 runs of 72 precisely.
Taken on the full, hit hard, hit down the ground, nearly clearing the ropes on that occasion. 4 runs to the Japan total. Iwasaki is teetering along.
88 runs now needed in 71. Can they turn this around? And when you have batters batting in this fashion, Haruna Iwasaki not leaving any stones unturned. Full toss ball, given the right treatment.
Joylene Daliwal. Iwasaki gets back onto the back foot, hits it straight back to Daliwal. Daliwal to Iwasaki. Shot hit over the infield, but straight down the throat of Mariko Hill. That'll be wicket number 4. And that is Natasha Miles, in fact, who's placed a short extra cover. This time holds on to it. And now then, is it the beginning of the end for Japan, Dipesh?
Well, this is a big wicket, I would say. Haruna Iwasaki was looking so good. But eventually now that one wicket has changed a lot of things, isn't it? But I'm still, being a little more positive because we haven't seen yet Hinase Goto coming in, and I think now also they've seen Mai Yanagida.
Skipper comes out to bat. Yanagida.
Yeah, I'll still keep the hope. Still, Hinase Goto comes out to bat because probably she's been kept reserved for the best to come in this innings. I don't know right now how it will benefit or not benefit at this moment with this wicket for Japan, but I'm sure that there will be again a ray of hope with Hong Kong China to bounce back in the game.
And Japan will be really hoping that could be the reality. And it's now time for Mai Yanagida to play a skipper's knockout. Joylene Daliwal takes it on the full, hits it hard, just past Miles. Positive intent.
They're going from the ball one. There's no doubt about it, because you can't be hanging in there and not get runs because every ball is important right now.
Takes it on the full, hits it hard, hits it exactly in the gap. That is a shot and a half by Erika Oda. Exactly in the gap between those three fielders. Over Chan Kai-ying and between the deep mid wicket and long on field. Lovely piece of cricket.
Well, nicely tossed up delivery, a little wide, and you can see the full stretch where she's swinging the bat and putting things into the right perspective. And probably that is why Erika Oda has been sent here just to do that power hitting and reduce the gap between the balls and the runs needed. There it is, the one that you should be all focusing on right now on the screen is Hinase Goto. She's been reserved for the finishing touches, Yusuf, in this game.
If there is one, and Japan will be very mindful to try and get it to that position. You can see umpire Nur Hijra walking towards the boundary line with drinks in her hand. This time, Mai Yanagida happy to come down the wicket and get a single.
See, honestly, you've got to a flying start. You've got 61 of just 60 of just 9 overs, and probably now it's all about adding more, precisely 79 runs that you're talking about in 65 deliveries.
Well, takes it on the full once again. This time Oda goes down the ground. Lamplo Hill, in fact, will cut it off. $79 required of 64 balls. Takes it on the full. Yanagida misses the opportunity on that occasion. Chan Kai-ying, ball hitting her hand on the way down to long on.
I think it's the second instance, one with Natasha and one with Chan Kai-ying herself. Let's look at that ball once again. Nicely tossed up delivery, took it on the up, and this looked to me the most one of the easiest catch because the run up was over. She was looking at the ball flying out to her.
Slaps it hard, Oda, and this is wonderful. 6 runs to the Japan total. They are not giving up the pace. You can keep your hopes up. And
well, I think they're very much into the game, Yusuf. With this kind of a hitting, Erika Oda has been sent to do exactly that. Just reduce the equation, try to get more and more runs. And she is a wonderful timer of the ball and the match presence with where to pick out gaps. Something that is absolutely magnificent right now.
Chan comes in. This time, fails to judge length but negotiates it well enough. They're going exactly at the required run rate here. Japan, 7 runs and over. In comes this time, short, misses out, should have gone farther. But they'll end the 10th over with 70 for 4 on the board and we'll break for drinks.
Nepal is in charge against Nepal. I mean, Thailand is in charge against Nepal. Yeah, just in 130, they're already 45.
Well, now then, getting back, Mariam Bibi has come out to the attack. And this one will be, again, quick single out there. 10 overs have gone by.
Yeah, in that event, the throw going the wrong end. Good placement from my Yanagida. 7 runs every over means Japan is with the rate. The problem for them is a wicket column. They've lost 4 of those. But if they can continue like this, maybe they need a big partnership that is going to get them to the end. Swing and a miss from Erica Oda. The other quarterfinal happening right now, Thailand taking on Nepal. And I must tell you that Thailand are firmly in charge of that. Nepal are 45 for 6, trying to chase 130. Good bowling from Miriam Bibi. This one is still very evenly poised, Depeche, because 72 for 4, Japan are in a good place. They are with the required run rate.
Well, yes, Dennis, I think a lot is to be plotted over here now. This is just a good start that you've got. And you just want to finish this up. Probably Mariam Bibi would be that one factor that they will have to be careful. But what a timing on this one. Dennis, this is magnificent cricket from Japan.
Yeah, the captain again, a good extension of the arms from my Yanagida, gets it over the infield and all the way to the boundary. The challenge for Hong Kong is how they use their 4 fielders. And right now, they have a very strong onside field and very little protection on the offside. Maybe they will need to bring the 3rd man in.
What a Midas touch and what a timing on the previous one.
And well played there by Mai. So it is both ends. Very difficult to protect.
Well, now then, just last ball that was played, pretty fine. And 11 overs that have gone by. It's 78 for 4. Starting up the new over, just 63 runs needed now of 54. Japan has played some excellent cricket. Dennis, what do you take from batters who have contributed? Be it Haruna Iwasaki, who's got 26 runs in that innings. Shimako Kato again, she's got 18 runs. Erika Oda is still there, and she's already started to hit the ball left, right, center of just 12 deliveries that she's faced.
And a good shot from the captain, Mai. She hasn't scored so many runs in this tournament, but today she's taking the responsibility. But Japan, I think that to take down 141, everyone has to make a contribution. It's going to be difficult to rely on one person. And I think so far, Japan are doing very well.
Absolutely. Now, Hong Kong, China would be looking for a plan. And just to get that plan executed pretty well, they've got another experienced bowler, Marina Lamplow, in the center. Will she turn this one for Hong Kong, China? Another one that smashed in the air, lofted, trying to go for the second one. But the throw is wonderful from the deep, Dennis.
Yeah, this is the challenge for Hong Kong, that the change bowlers after their mainstay bowlers are not always as good as the first ones. So if you have wickets in hand, you could have an opportunity in the game. The chance there put down. But good intentions there from Mai. You can see she's trying to access over long mid-off. She's realizing there's no one down there, so she can get a boundary.
I could feel for her because similarly, Chang Kain also missed a chance in the previous over. Another one, 2 back-to-back chances, both of them tough, agreed. But chance is a chance, Dennis, at this point in time.
Marina doing very well to do the fielding of her own bowling. She hasn't had an opportunity of bowling so much in the tournament, but today she played a very good hand with the bat. And then a good over from her. A quiet one. Worried looking faces in the Japanese dugout for now. They don't know which way it is going to go. 100 and it's 80 for 4, and they're trying to take down 141.
Starting up with yet another over, Dennis, 80, and now they precisely need more 61 to be added to the total. Mariam Bibi, once again, the hopes are high for her to get a breakthrough here. The captain Mai and Erika are looking again to build up yet another partnership, and I think these are the small partnership that has worked the best for Japan. Starts off with a dot ball. Chang Kain coming on the ball quickly.
Yeah, the leadership for Japan out there in the middle. Erika Oda, the vice captain, with the captain Mai Yanagida.
Swing and a miss. Wonderful delivery. That extra bit of pace that has been applied on that one. Let's look at the delivery once again. Oh, bit of a movement in the air. Completely missing out on this one.
Yeah, very good shape on the ball from Mariam. Mariam usually used at the back end, but I think Hong Kong, China realized that there's no point in trying to hold her back. They're just trying to stem the flow of runs.
2 good deliveries. This one even going on for an appeal, going very aggressive at this moment. Mariam Bibi, and that is what she can do. She can turn around the games. Many of those we've seen in her bowling itself in the past, Dennis. She's picked up the wickets and got Hong Kong, China back into the game. This one was in the air for some time. Mariko Hill coming on that. But from here on, what kind of a game plan do you think Hong Kong should have to pick up wickets here?
I think Hong Kong, they don't need to pick up wickets. They just need to dry up the runs for now. As long as they're not conceding boundaries, they are in business.
That's very well played onto the pads. Got a single quickly.
This was very good, smart captaincy from Natasha Miles. Usually, vacantatious to bowl a couple of overs. She would be bowling right now. And Mariam Bibi always bowls at the back end, but I think they've realized that they may not get to the end if they bowl their part-timers very early.
Another one trying to play that into the gap. Good fielding again there by Chang Kain. Just dives on the ball, and that should be the end of the 13th over with a single to end it. 83 for 4. Thirteen overs have gone by, and now it's getting more and more interesting with the 83 runs on the board and the target being 141. So that means you'd still need 58 more runs to get there. This one's now. First one smashed. Good throw there. Marina Lamplow. has been brought to the attack. Now, all hopes, considering the bowlers, will be majorly on Mariam Bibi and Marina Lampolo.
Yeah, they have a huge role to play, the both of them. But I think especially Miriam Baby, she's bowled 2 overs already. So, and we are all just in the 14th over. So Natasha Miles has to sort of go to someone else just to make sure that.
This once again in the air, 1 bounce straight to the fielder. Should be another single here. Now, if just when we were talking about bowling, Ikra Sahar has 1 more over to bowl. Sui May has 2 overs more. Chankain has 1. Ruchita Venkatesh, who was expensive, I don't know whether she's coming back to bowl or not. But Joylene Dhaliwal has 3 overs. Mariam Bibi has 2. And after this over, probably Marina Lamplo has 2 more overs to be bowled. That's a very good ball. Trying to go for that sweep shot. Misses that completely.
Yeah, the advantage for Hong Kong China has been that Marina has bowled a very, very tight over. She's yet to concede any boundary in the 11 balls she's bowled so far. And I think that has worked so well for them, and it works to the plan.
That one's now straight towards the deep covers region. Quick one there from Ikra Sahar. That's going to be the end of yet another good over. 14 overs gone and it's 86 for 4. Well, now things are getting interesting here. Still more 55 runs to win of just 36 deliveries that are remaining. Here comes Mariam Bibi. Another one that is just played straight. And captain coming on it, Natasha Miles, with that single to start off. But don't you think, Dennis, it's important that you get boundaries at this stage of the game? Otherwise, the gap is going to increase, and then it will be, not a great sight for Japan.
Yeah, that's it. In the last passage of play has been advantage Hong Kong China. In the last 3 overs, Japan have only been able to score 10 runs, and that is where the problem has been. They've given the advantage to Hong Kong China. So they need to find a way of getting out of that.
Rightly said there. You need runs to be also coming in, and runs which, this misfield could have been utilized, but they kept on thinking, and especially kept on thinking whether she'll be able to reach to the striker's end or not. But Dennis, you'll have to take those kind of risk because every run here becomes so important.
Yeah, that's you can't be second guessing yourself. Once you commit to a run, just take it.
Again, didn't try to hit it too hard, just chipping that one towards the short covers, only for a single here.
Such good intelligence from Sui. She realized that the field at the dip is so far away. If the ball just goes past her, they will run 2. She puts her body on the line and cuts it off immediately. And that way they could only get 1 run.
I think more to do with here, I think Erica can go all guns blazing at this point in time. There, just a single. But I think Erica, the way she started on a very attacking note, and wherever she's getting a chance, she's getting a boundaries as well. But I think more to do with Erica's role here. She's been just sent to make sure that the gap does not increase. I mean, the equation should not go beyond the hands. 51 still needed. This one's now in the air and that's gonna go. Last ball of this 15th over. Marina Lamplo takes a wonderful catch. And Mariam Bibi, the wicket-taking bowler, strikes again.
Yeah, Japan are trying to get things going, but never got enough height or distance. Erika Oda and ends up finding the waiting hands of Mariana, who's played a very good hand today. She's been a live wire with the ball, the batter now in the field. She makes a contribution for the team. And the vice captain for Japan will have to depart. It's now 90 for 5 after 15 overs.
Marina Lamplu. She'll bowl. Miles trusting her all-rounder to start the motions for the last 5 overs. 5 overs is at 51 to get. Dennis, what do you reckon?
Yeah, it's now looking very, very difficult for Japan. 51 runs from 30 balls. Difficult, but not impossible.
This is what we were also discussing earlier as well. If you have covered the deficit of runs within the power play, then you have much more freedom to go ahead. Lamplu, short, cuts it, but misses it completely.
Yeah, it's just those last 5 overs that have given Japan the advantage. I mean, Hong Kong, China, the advantage.
Absolutely. They've managed to take wickets at regular intervals and they've looked really good today, Hong Kong, China. Taken on the full hit hard, hit straight down the ground. The fielder will have some work to do.
Because I'll tell you, Yusuf, at the drinks break at the halfway stage, Japan was 70 for 4. So meaning in the last 5 overs after that break, they only scored 20 runs and also lost the wicket.
Ideally, they'd like to have had around 35 runs, which have had the game in ideal balance. This is wonderful batting. Maya Nagida hasn't given up. She's guiding the ball back. A bit of a hesitation there.
So that last 5 overs, that passage of play is what really has dragged the game back for Hong Kong, China. Because Japan looked like they were racing, they were scoring at a good rate. But now they have to do all that work all over again.
And Lamplu has bowled really well. She's been part of that package in the last 5 overs and just conceded 7 runs. She's kept things very simple and straightforward.
Yeah, she's been amazing for them.
Going at less than a run every 2 balls. In comes Lamplu. Gives it ample air time. Takes it the aerial route to the Japanese skipper. We have the work cut out. Both the Hong Kong fielders. A bit of a collision there.
They're getting each other's way. I think it's just the anxiety, just being very anxious. Chan Kahing. But I've liked the approach here from Maya Nagida today. She's been more positive out in the middle. She's using her feet.
I think it's a matter of nothing to lose being the mentality. And I think they have missed the services of Kato Stafford, whose presence at the crease would have made a large difference in the eventual outcome of the game. In comes Lamplu to Yanagida. Gives it airtime, takes it on the full, tries to go across the line, but just gets a side edge onto square leg.
But I think Kato Stafford has been showing up for them in every game. They just needed another person to put their hand up today when she didn't. And I'm thinking, imagine if Mai had gotten a partnership with Shimaka Kato.
Kato was looking really good.
Yeah, that would have been a very, very good opportunity for Japan to take down this big total.
Lamplu to continue. She'll bowl out her 3rd over. This time into the pads and straight down the throat of Mariam Bibi. That should be probably the final nail in the coffin. Japan now a bit out of reach with that wicket. Yanagida was holding things together. It'll now be up to Hinase Goto and Alia Chandel. A lot of Japanese hopes will be resting on their shoulders. It's Hinase Goto who's been dismissed, and Yanagida still batting.
Yeah, what an impressive bowling spell there for Mariana. Just chipping the ball very, very kindly to a fielder who does not put down so many apart from today. Miriam Bibi finally gets hold on to something. But now 6 wickets down Japan, and with each wicket just makes the job more difficult.
Just 5 wickets down now. Change in the bowling. In fact, 6 wickets down. 95 for 6, and BB to continue. Fresh off that catch.
Yeah, Hong Kong China now starting to believe that they have a foot into the semi-final.
They really want that qualification to the Asia Cup in October. BB to Yanagida. Straight at the stumps. Keeps things very simple. Mariam Bibi, stump to stump. Doesn't give the batter too much space.
Yeah, Yanagida now has a big job on her hand. I think she must be thinking, I need to take responsibility for every over from here on. If you expose the others, then they would clean them up very, very cheaply.
Well, once again at the stumps, chance for out at the strikers end. And Miles did well there.
Yeah, the throw slightly to the side for Miriam Bibi, but if it was right on top of the stumps, I think Yanagida was struggling to get to the other end.
The new batter, Ahilya Chandal, I beg your pardon. And incredible with the ball as usual. Today couldn't get going, went to a few runs in that last over of hers, but now it's important that she tries and gives her maximum. Spot in the quarterfinals up for grabs. 22 deliveries remain, 45 to get.
Yeah, simple assignment for her, just get Mai on strike and then let the captain try and take responsibility of scoring the runs.
Ahilya Chandal, of course, can wheel the willow. No stranger to batting. They've done well, Japan, this tournament. They weren't largely spoken of when they came into the tournament, but since then have managed to positively surprise a lot of those watching on. Highly rated team now in Asia. In comes BB onto Ahilya. Down the leg side, and umpire Sultana says white.
Yeah, you can see Hong Kong China not taking any chances. This is the winner takes all game. Make sure they are still on the defensive even when the new batter is on strike.
I think it in a sense is giving the honors on to the Japanese batters. I'll come back to that. BB shot chipped up in the air and straight down the throat of Lamplo. She can't do anything wrong today. Second catch of the evening for the Hong Kong China fielder.
Yeah, has been in all the action. Mariana, everywhere she goes, the ball is finding her, and she's safely holding on to them, just chipping the ball up in the air. And the simplest of catches there for Mariana. And she will celebrate because Hong Kong China are now starting to see the finishing line. Japan have lost 7 wickets. They're 97 for 7.
Ayumi Fujikawa, the new batter. Very good with the ball, Fujikawa. But miraculous comeback with the bat expected from both these two. Both Fujikawa and Yanagida.
Yeah, for the first 10 overs, it felt that this game will go all the way up to the end. Japan were really in the mix of things. But then a very good passage of play has allowed Hong Kong China to take firm control of the game.
We did speak of this earlier in the game as well, that scoreboard pressure is a telling factor when it comes to the knockout games. And regardless of how well you bat in those first 10 overs, when you see those numbers required in the last few overs, you begin to panic, especially at this associate level. That is a skill that still needs to be honed.
I'll tell you, Yusuf, I know of a coach who always says that you need to be better for a very long time. So the hitting needed to be sustained for a good period of time, not just in spurts of moments. The longer it had gone on, the more pressure it would have put on Hong Kong. Then they will have to go to so many bowling options, and you just never know where the game can go from there.
I think they've managed to allowed Miles to manage her resources optimally, and that has kind of fallen light into the hands of Hong Kong. This time, Mariam bowls full on the stumps, missing that leg stump by a whisker on that occasion.
Yeah, I've liked the captaincy today for Natasha Miles. She's been on the money. She's been thinking on her feet. Mariam Bibi usually bowls after over number 15, but today they brought her earlier just to arrest the scoring of the runs, and she's done a wonderful job.
Bibi to Yanagida. 2 for 17. We'll finish off with this delivery. Oh, that'll be 3 for 17. Yanagida asking if that was a no ball, but a no ball cannot hit the wicket.
Yeah, Yanagida on the other end trying to inquire if that's a no ball, but Ayumi Fujikawa misses the full toss completely, and it just dips into her stumps.
Very dipping slower ball. Very famous exponent of that was Lasit Malinga. And Bibi finishes off on 3 for 17. End of the 17, 97 for 8.
Yusuf, I'll tell you that bowling between Mariam Bibi and Mariana is what has won the game for Hong Kong China, because at this rate, I don't see Japan coming back. Between the two of them, they are 8 overs. They picked 5 wickets, and they've not conceded more than, I think, 27 runs.
She's just conceded 7, if I'm not right, Lamplow in her 2 overs. But that has been the game changer. Tightening the screws from both ends. Lamplow to Yanagida, who holds out to Miles. Captain takes the wicket of captain. Now then it's a matter of formality for both these players.
Yeah, Yanagida trying to create room and hit through the offside. And unfortunately finds the waiting hands of her colleague, her counterpart, Natasha Miles. And her wicket feels like that should be game, set and match Hong Kong, China. 97 for 9. Very good hand from the captain, but she lacked partners to help her compete.
Nonaha Yasumoto, the new batter, also opening bowler for Japan. Yanagida, very disappointed with herself. But she can hold her head high. She's worked real hard to get this team to where it is, and they can hold their heads high as they walk out of this tournament, Japan. In comes Lamplow. To Yasumoto. Ample flight time. Pretty sure plan would be to try and wrap things up quick here for Hong Kong.
Yeah, Hong Kong now will have some time to rest as they prepare for the semi-finals, match day 7, because the teams will take a break tomorrow. But they've just made sure they are very, very clinical today. Piled on the runs, and then they've worked hard for this victory. It hasn't been easy at all.
Lamplow to Yasumoto. Blocks any sort of threat for now.
Yeah, so many balls have been left here for Nonoha and Mamtaz.
Lamplow once again keeps it away from the hitting arc of Yasumoto, who isn't the most prodigious batters going around. Lamplow to Yasumoto. Tries to go across the line, but no real connection. That will be the 17.5th ball.
Yeah, I've liked Mariana today. She's fielded so well against off her own bowling. Every time the ball has been struck back at her with some power, but she's put her body on the line for the team.
Already 2 catches in the day as well, Lamplo. He's been incredible and had a flourish towards the end of the innings. Solid contender for player of the match as well. In comes Lamplo. Goes across the line, Yasumoto. They'll get a single and Yasumoto will remain on strike for the 19th.
I'll tell you, Yusuf, one of the good things about the innings for Hong Kong China is that the way Marina came out and batted just allowed Yasmin Doswani to flourish as well. There was no pressure on her. They just complemented each other. Got a couple of good overs in, and then it just sort of allowed Hong Kong China to find second gear and get to 140.
Chan Ka-ying to bowl the 19th over. Yasumoto, number 11 for Japan. Doswani behind the stumps. She's been the player of the tournament so far for Hong Kong. China kept wickets, got crucial runs that has kept them in the tournament so far. In comes Yan Ki-chan. Chan Ka-ying, I beg your pardon. Tries to go across the line, sweeps and sweeps well, and they'll get through for a single.
Yasmin Daswani has had an amazing tournament. That's sort of those kind of tournament you just never forget. She's had the runs. She has also kept wickets very well.
It's kind of the folklore that goes into Hong Kong cricket story as well. And you eventually tell these stories to your little ones and family, and that is what it's all about, Dennis. Chan Ka-ying.
Can see the intelligence of Natasha Miles realizing that now that the game has been sorted, but you need Chan Ka-ying to bowl a couple of overs so that she can be ready for a semi-final. You bring her back to get some confidence.
Once again, flighted 99 for 9 now the score. Last 9 overs, just 30 runs for the loss of 6 wickets. It's been that strangling operation by Lamplu and Bibi. Chan gives it airtime. Ooh! Chance of a wicket, but nothing yielding there.
Yeah, but you can clearly see Mamta there clearly out of her depth. Playing some nothing shots. I don't think the ball is going to go anywhere.
Chan Ka-ying. Mamta Kaswan. Gives it a lot of airtime. Nearly going to the gate, but manages to get back to ball. Kaswan. End of the 19th over then. 99 for 9. All right, then finishing touches for the game. That'll be the happier dugout. In fact, the unhappier dugout. Vinay Iyer, head coach of Japan, put together a solid team. Unfortunate for him that they've not come out trumps today, but it's been a very tough team to negotiate. Hong Kong, China still unbeaten in the tournament so far. They bowled out Nepal for a mere 40. Comes away straight to the fielder at point. That should be end of the game. Umpire Ankita Guha raising the finger for a miscommunication. Wicket number 10 falls as Japan reel out on 99. But they can hold their head high. They played some incredible cricket, the Japanese team. You could see the hugs in the dugout as well. They know they've come up here, they've shown up with pride, and they've stood up for their flag.
Yeah, the ladies are from the land of the rising sun, Japan. Wonderful experience for them. But this time, the miscommunication out in the middle and the simple run out completed by Su to finish the innings for Japan. They will stop on 99. But like you've mentioned, Yusuf, I think they've been very good throughout the whole tournament. They've put everyone on notice. And as they continue to play in these events, they can only keep improving.
Exactly. Dennis, they've put everyone on notice is the exact words that need to be heard, because they performed really well, especially Kato Stafford, who's done incredibly well this tournament. Their openers, they've had touches of brilliance, the kind of brilliance where you say, if this could go on for a few more overs, this team is going to eventually make a difference. And that comes with experience, and that will take time. And Japan cricket is well on its way to go to those glory days. But yes, Japan have done well. But let's talk about the girls in red and black.
Yeah.
What a show.
Yeah, Hong Kong, China will celebrate for now. They remain unbeaten and move on to the semi-finals. For them, it is important they keep working very hard if they're going to secure a place in the Asia Cup. A good performance from them again, asked to bat first. They got the job done, scoring 140 for 5 in their quarter of 20 overs. Yasmin Daswani with 55, Natasha Miles, the captain, a contribution of 24, and Mariana with a flourishing quickfire 21, and Mariko Hill 16 in their quarter of 20 overs.
Japan, of course, started really well, and Haruna Iwasaki looked the league apart from the rest. Erika Oda came in and was building something along with Shimako Yato. And Mai Yanagida tried to take initiative towards the end, but it was that strangling operation by Mariam Bibi's 3 for 17 and Marina Lamplos 2 for 11 that eventually got the trumps of the Japan innings that second half, although they looked really good after that first half. They can hold their heads high. And with that, we conclude proceedings in this group, this quarterfinal. And it's Hong Kong, China, who booked their first berth in the semi-finals of the ACC Women's Premier Cup 2026. And right after this, we'll soon be back with the post-match presentation with our friend Deepesh conducting the proceedings there.
Welcome to the wonderful post-match presentation, and what a quarterfinals that we have witnessed between Japan and Hong Kong, China. Well, the score was good, everything was good, but eventually in the second innings, it was Hong Kong, China who took the better of Japan. Well, to do the honors for the post-match presentation, we have our match referee with a trophy, Miss Varsha Nagre. Well, yes, we had a lot of contenders because some good performances came in for this quarterfinals. We had Yasmin Daswani got 55 runs of just 36 deliveries. We had Natasha Miles who got 24 runs of just 31 deliveries she faced, and 2 catches add up to that performance. And Mariam Bibi, the wicket-taking bowler as always, with 4 overs, 17 runs and 3 wickets. But out of it, the winner and the player of the match of this quarterfinals will be Yasmin Daswani with 55 runs of 36, setting the tone and setting the pace for a wonderful target out there of 141. Yasmin, if you could just throw some light on the approach that you as a team or you as a player, in those innings, you had it during the group stages. And now when you come out to the knockouts, when you come out to the quarterfinals, such a big game, what was the intent and what was the approach that you wanted to bring forward today?
I think our plan as a team is just to keep trying to get better than we were the game before. So we wanted to increase our power play figures. Like after 10 overs, we wanted to be higher than we were previously, and then to raise a big total for this really important game.
Well, when it comes to run, you're amongst the top 5, in the list. How more you want to add up to that?
I think you can always get better. So yeah, we're just trying to keep getting better game by game.
Congratulations on this one and many more to come.
Thank you very much.
And now may I please invite the captain of Japan. It must be tough to miss the bus of semi-finals, but a lot of good characters, and when I say characters, it also has to do a lot with performances that came in even in this match and throughout the tournament. What are the positives for you as a team?
Yeah, I think a lot of positive, like batting wise, I think we have improved a lot for the last few years. But again, I think our fielding wasn't the best today. That cost us probably 20 runs, so that was a bit of pain, yeah.
141 as a target. What was the discussion in the mid-innings and when the batters were just about to come out for bat?
Our plan was to go in hard in power play, which Haruna did very well. And then I think the first 10 overs we did really well, making 70 runs. But I think losing a few wickets in the early inning was really, wasn't ideal to chase it down.
The last question before I take your leave, what are the things that you would like to go back and work and come back stronger next year?
I think the overall consistency with both bat and ball and also the fielding is something we need to work on.
Well, all the best for the coming forward matches.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's the captain of Japan. And now I would like to invite the captain of Hong Kong, China. You can finally have some smile on your face.
Smiling anyway.
Well, a power pack and a full house performances, be it with the bat and be it with the ball. How important do you think that these performances, reflect a lot on the team getting better and better day by day, especially when you're at this stage of the game?
I think going into the semis, obviously we'll take a lot of confidence out of the performances we've had. We've had some solid wins there, and we've only gone from strength to strength in each game we've played. So to see what is an almost collectively great performance today, very happy to see that, and hopefully we do one better in the next round.
Well, what was the game plan and the discussions, especially when you go out to play knockout games like this?
I think we try not to change too much. There's, as we have a saying within the team, we control the controllables. So, we're not worried too much about the outcome as long as we're kind of doing our best in each of our skills. The wins will come and the success will come from there. But we sort of keep it simple, control what we can, and just look to play our best game.
What is that one secret that all the girls keep on going and competing with each other? It's a good problem to have for a captain when everyone is performing. How do you deal with that?
I don't really think about it too much. It's just got to pick the person whose day it is, and they all are very good at appreciating when somebody's, you know, in good rhythm, and that's when they go on and they get a score, or they go on and they get some wickets. So I think we've come together very well as a team, and appreciating that everybody's got a different role in the team and how they can contribute to the game. You know, you can do it in any which way, so we're happy with that.
Congratulations to move one level forward into the semi-finals, and all the best for that.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
That's it from the post-match presentation. We have Hong Kong, China reaching out into the finals. That's it from the presentation. My name is Dipesh Sule, and I'll be signing off from here on.